Thank you. Whoa. Nice to be here. Nice for all of you to be here. I'm glad I'm here. If I was home, I wouldn't really be doing much. I'd probably just be watching television or something, Television is dangerous for me because I can get caught up watching any show regardless of the subject matter. Like last week I watched 3 hours of the show called Botched. You guys ever see that show? Oh boy. It's a show about these two Beverly Hills plastic surgeons and they repair people's messed up plastic surgeries, It's a very positive show. It's essentially Pimp My Ride for the human body. It's weird because they're doing such a positive thing, yet they name it after the negative part of it. They call it botched, right? I mean, they could have called it anything. Surgery, do-over, doctor repair your derriere or something. I'm just thinking, spitballing. It would be like if they had a reality show about lifeguards and they called it, like, Almost Drowned. Like in the pitch meeting, they're probably like, we were thinking Rescued would be a good name, sir. They're like, who's going to watch a show about somebody get rescued, right? They'll watch somebody almost drown. In fact, if we can get a few to drown, we might really have a hit here. It's weird. It's an odd thing. But the show is, they have a lot of trouble with breast implants. It's like most of the show is people with messed up breast implants for some reason. Like a lady will come in and one's a triangle and one's a square. And the doctor's like, oh my God, what happened? And she's like, I'll never use Groupon again. And then they get down to work. They fix her up. It's a great montage, whatever. And at the end, it's very inspiring. She's like, oh my God, I look great. This is unbelievable. But me as a viewer, I'm very disappointed, right? Because it's on cable. So her breasts are blurred out like a cartel member on 60 Minutes. So the whole show's built on the before and after shot, right? So I'm like, here we go, let's see how this looks. And it's like two blurs next to two blurs, maybe closer together depending on what they were going for, And I'm like, Like I've invested a lot of time. I'd rather do more than just take your word for it, Tammy's been through a lot, I'd like to see it through, I don't blame these people. I relate to people with messed up plastic surgeries, It's the same way that I feel every time that I get a haircut. I want to look good, but then when I'm done, not always the case. But it's my fault. I don't blame the barber. I give bad direction. Here's what happens. I'll go into the barber shop, and they're like, what can I get you? How can I cut your hair today? And then this is what I say. I go, nothing crazy. And then we both shrug. And about 12 minutes later, I walk out unhappy, I'm in the mirror like, it's not crazy. It's not good. A guy told me, he's like, here's what you should do. You get a picture of the last time you got a haircut that you liked, right? Bring that in, show that to the fella, and then get that haircut. Which is a genius idea that I'll never do. It seems very arrogant, don't you think? Like, I go in there to the barbershop, and if you go to a barbershop, they got the pictures on the walls and all that stuff. And if it's a real fancy place, they have like a booklet, like a portfolio you could scroll through. So I walk in and sit down, and the guy's like, hello, sir, how can I make you look your absolute best today? What can I get you? And then I take out a picture of myself. And I'm like, can you make me look like this good-looking son of a bitch, sir? Can you do that? The guy's like, is that you? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Can you do it or not? Last time I got a haircut, a guy who put on latex gloves like he was going to give me surgery. Is that a weird thing? It was very odd. But at first I was offended. I thought he saw me coming and he's like, oh boy, let's get ready for this one. But all the barbers had it. I guess it's just their policy of the shop, which at first I thought was odd. But then as he started cutting my hair, I realized, I don't know where this guy's hands have been, and it seems very cleanly, actually. It's a good policy to have. I'm glad that he's doing this. And I was very at ease. And then I got very disturbed, because I started to think about all the haircuts I've gotten in my life, where they haven't worn gloves, and all the barbers who have cut my hair. I got grossed out in retrospect. You guys know what grossed out in retrospect? Here's a good example of grossed out in retrospect for you guys. Like, like when you're doing your laundry and you're like, oh, let's wash these bed sheets. We haven't done this in a while, right? And so you wash the bed sheets and you're like, I don't even know we're doing this. They look fine. I don't know what the big deal is. And then you put them on your bed and you go to sleep and you're laying in them and you're like, oh no. These feel dramatically different than they did before we washed them. How long have we been sleeping on these? I thought these were blue. I don't know what color. I go to the laundromat to do my laundry. I don't know if you guys go to the laundromat. Not to brag. Here's what I like about the laundromat. The laundromat is very convenient, but it's also upsetting because it's the goddamn filthiest place I've ever been in my entire life. It's unbelievable. I don't mean to be rude, but they're in the cleaning business. You know, you think they'd sweep up once in a while. And it gets very stressful because when you're finishing, I was doing my laundry the other day, and here's the most stressful thing is I finished, and I took the stuff out of the dryer, and I dropped the dress shirt on the floor. And I picked it up, and then what I realized is that this is now the dirtiest this shirt has ever been. Even prior to me washing it. I've done the exact opposite with this shirt than what I wanted to do. I'm like, is this their way to keep customers coming back? Their retention policy? It'd be like if there was like an orthopedic doctor, but the staircase leading up to their office was like really steep, you know? All right, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Nice hand for Ricky Grimes.